Hi everyone, welcome to Good Morning Toowoomba. I'm Ben Apsey.
And I'm Daryl Nicholson. Welcome along to Good Morning Toowoomba.
Yes, on this beautiful Friday, the 17th of April, it is going to be a top of 29 degrees today, so quite a hot one for an April day in Toowoomba.
Mate, that's summer. That's summer.
Yeah, it is very summery weather. That sort of temperature. 0% chance of rain.
Yep.
Top of 29. The UV is currently sitting at 4. So,
wow.
Definitely a day for sunscreen. So,
and partly cloudy. So that's the worst. The UV's worse when it's partly cloudy. So, mate, good pilot yesterday. So thanks very much for that. We got a comment from Lorinda Finch. She said, "Great show, guys." So we've decided. I think we've decided to go from 30 minutes just down to 15 to cap off what's going on in Toowoomba and say good morning, Toowoomba.
Yeah, that's it. Just a nice, short, simple show that people can watch, get in a good mood for the day. So, as you've seen, we'll start with our greeting weather. Shout out to some birthdays that are happening around the region.
Toowoomba birthdays. Have a happy heart pounding birthday to Ray Mogg. He's celebrating his 50th birthday. Marnie had the cake up pretty early on the table, so it's on Facebook. And Dawn Harris, happy birthday, Dawn, otherwise known as Dawn Adams. So they're followers on Toowoomba 4358 TV, mate. So a big shout out to them. And anyone else having a birthday, have a happy birthday. And if you're having one tomorrow, let us know and we'll give you a shout out. What do you reckon?
Sounds good. What's on the agenda today, Daryl?
Mate, the mayor was on the video yesterday. The Chronicle did a bit of a snippet, and Paul Antonio, after the swearing-in ceremony, just is wishing that the team comes together and that they have a very strong team, because there's a lot of issues that are going to be talked about at the first council meeting. Nancy Summerfield, I saw a post from her, is wanting the council meeting live stream. Your thoughts on that?
I think that's in the best interest of the region. Keeps it open, honest, very transparent for people, and that's what people wanted. A lot of people were saying that council wasn't very transparent, so it's a great way of keeping them honest and holding them account for what they're talking about. So,
and definitely Southern Downs Regional Council live streamed their first meeting. They voted their deputy mayor. I think we talked about that yesterday, so I won't get into too much detail. But I did talk to Rebecca Von Hoff yesterday. She is definitely putting her hand up for deputy mayor. So she is she's got her case all written, her speech. So watch this space. We'll see what happens, mate. I made a prediction. Jeff McDonald would be deputy mayor, but I might be wrong.
Either of the two of them, I think, would do a great job at it, to be honest. So it'd be interesting to see whoever gets it this time, mate, might have a crack at mayor next time around. You just don't know. So.
And look, not taken away from the beautiful Carol Taylor. Already got the experience, so maybe it's a three horse race there, mate.
Well, that's it. Yeah, we just don't know what's going to happen at that point. So.
Yep. Mate, the Toowoomba Chamber of Commerce, Todd Rule, I waved to Todd in the street. I haven't actually met him, and I must admit I was a member of the chamber. I'm not a member of the chamber now, but he's quite keen for council to have their meeting and get underway and talk about the CBD, which I know that's been a very emotional topic for you when we did the marketing for your campaign. Mate, with COVID-19 now, it's scary.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's one of those things that's sort of uncertain. People aren't sure what's going on. It looks like we've got quite a while still yet of lockdown based on what the Prime Minister has said so far. So, and speaking of Prime Ministers, I have been reading a great book by one of our previous ones. I don't know what you guys are all reading at the moment, but I've been reading this. I've been reading it for some time, but with all the extra time on my hands, I finally got through 2 chapters of it last night. So,
I've been reading Jacob Carlisle's book. It's quite an interesting read. It's all about change, and I think it's a good book to read, and you can get it from Jacob on his website, on his Facebook page as well. Mate, Tanya Brown yesterday had a go at me because I was clicking this pen. I was clicking this pen yesterday. I was annoying the crap out of her, so I'm not going to click it today, but many apologies for that.
Yes, and... coffee? Have you had your morning coffee, Daryl?
We made one here, mate, but I did go down to the local bakery and grabbed a lovely feta and spinach pasty. It was really nice. So that was from Zest down in Stanthorpe. So I'm heading home today, so I'll catch up with you today. So we talked about the mayor, mate, and by the way, the Chamber of Commerce, we were talking about that. They've started a podcast as well. So, mate, I might make some inquiry about their fees for an individual like me, or maybe we could team up together and see if they'll take a membership jointly from us.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because I know that the Chamber of Commerce was, when I last looked at it, was a little bit pricey when I had the coffee shop down in town, and that's where City Heart and Toowoomba was quite a nice little group that you could join as a small business. It was not as expensive. It was only $50 for a year. So it'd be interesting to see where the Chamber of Commerce come to the party with realistically helping small business and reducing their fees to get more people involved. So.
And mate, talking about reducing fees and waiving fees, mate, the City Golf Club is going through a bit of pain, and David Janetsky, the member for Toowoomba South, and Trevor Watts, the member for Toowoomba North, were at the golf club yesterday with the members, the committee. Mate, in a bit of trouble. They've got to pay their March gambling taxes and no income. It should be waived, shouldn't it, really?
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, they're not bringing in any money of any kind, and the poker machines are all turned off. We know, like the sports club, they've got how many of them? 200 and something that they're all turned off and need to be moved at this point. So
232 to be precise, mate. And I think the golf club's around that 400. I think.
Ooh. And that's loss of income. And it's amazing to see how much money goes through those sort of machines when they are open and running. So it's a bit unfair to sort of expect those places that have been forced to close to now be forced to pay up for something that's not running. So
yeah, I agree, mate. And I think we're going to see a lot of this sort of taxes waived, rates reduced and on hold. I don't know whether we'll see anything go down in price, but we have seen petrol. Is it still 99 cents a litre in Toowoomba?
The premium petrol was $1.14 yesterday. So I drove past a couple of places that were 93 cents a litre. There's 95 cents a litre. So yeah, welcome to the past. I can't remember it being that low for quite some time. I can still remember when it was 79 cents a litre, back talking 20 years ago. But it's been a long time since it's been less than $1 a litre. So it's very nice.
It is. It's quite handy. So, and especially the number of barrels being produced now and the cost that should be reflected in bringing the cost down here as well. So, mate, how's your sleep patterns going? I saw a post from Melinda Lee. She's out at Highfields, and Melinda's. How would I describe Melinda? She talks about embracing yourself, loving yourself, and looking after yourself, and don't care what anyone else thinks about you. But she had a sleep pattern of 12 midnight till 6 a.m. and was waking up pretty refreshed. So she's changed her sleeping patterns to 10:30 till 4:30, and she's finding she's got to have a nap by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Mate, I have no sleep pattern. I must admit, since I've got laid off from the club, I would have a 3 a.m. finish, and then I'd be on a run of night shifts and day shifts. So my sleep pattern's all over the place, and some people don't think I sleep. But what about you?
Well, I mean, I've got 2 kids, so what is sleep? My wife would probably disagree with me on that. She is usually the one that gets up to them in the middle of the night anyway. But you're still disturbed with kids, and it's one of those things you sort of just get used to it, running on low sleep. I wouldn't say I've got a bad pattern. I try to get to bed by sort of between 10 and 11 o'clock each night, so I'm ready to wake up sort of 6:37. Depends on the night though, and depends on how long you sleep for as to how you're feeling. I do not nap in the afternoons. I just can't do it. If I nap, I do not sleep at night time. So, and that's even when you're traveling overseas, it's the same sort of thing. With the jet lag, I always go with don't sleep on the flight home, come back, go to sleep normally, get yourself straight back into that routine. And that's what our bodies need. They just need the routine, I think. So
yeah, well, I'm all over the place with sleep. I mean, I was up at 1 o'clock this morning, 2, 3, and eventually got up at 7, and was doing some posting at 6 in the morning from bed. But my sleep pattern's all over the place, and I do have a nap through the day, I must admit. And I am going to get back to work, but that will come. So, mate, I want to give a shout out today to Remember Toowoomba When, and they've had some great photos up there. And if you've got any photos of Toowoomba, please certainly share that with the team at Remember Toowoomba When. They make some great videos sometimes to take us back to the days of yesterday. So I'm going to have a look at and see what I've got at home, and send some stuff to them as well. So, mate, that's about all I've got today. What else have you got? Anything you want to give a shout out before?
No, I'd be interested to know what people are reading. As I said, I'm reading Lazarus Rising, which is a biography by John Howard. It's quite interesting. I've got a couple of other books as well. So 50 Politics Classics, which is one that I sort of just read a snippet of that every now and again. So I'm interested to know what people are reading at the moment with all the extra time they've got on their hands. I know a lot of people are doing gardening. I finally finished mine. It is done. Okay. I trimmed the hedges yesterday afternoon, and that was the final thing. So the hedges, all the plants are in the ground. Lincoln is very excited. We have a blueberry and a pancake bush. Because there's a picture of a pancake on the tag, so we've got a pancake tree. Which I thought was quite fun.
Let us know what you're reading, so send that through. And also, I'm just going to wrap up with this. I got a message yesterday from Nola Murdoch. Nola has just written here, hi Daryl, was watching your Good Morning Toowoomba and thought to let you know of an excellent locally owned mobile hairdresser. Nini's Hair Design, owned and operated by Tennille Johnson. All the info is available on her Facebook page, so check that out. And also, if I could drop the name of her local favourite cafe, it's a cafe locally owned, Group Therapy Cafe. And I must admit, I don't know about this one. Nathan's food is amazing, she says. Good God, my mouth is watering at the thought of this food. But they've just reopened for takeaway and pre-order takeaway, roast dinners. They're at the Harvey Norman Centre out there in South Toowoomba. So big shout out to Nathan and the team there at Group Therapy Cafe. So there you go. So if you've got a cafe or a business you want to give a shout out, let us know as well, and we'll shout that out. So, mate, that's all it from me, and I'm just going to wrap up by saying Toowoomba 4350 TV, more than just a postcode. And Good Morning Toowoomba is an exciting new show that we're producing. Yeah,
so the idea behind it is that we'll eventually be able to live stream it from the locations around the region when we're all allowed back out of our houses in groups of more than 2 people. So we'll be able to live stream it in those businesses. People can come down, they can be part of the show. And then for the time being, we'll just do the meetings like this, keeping people up to date with what's going on around the region, what's on, the weather, and sort of just trying to keep people moving, I guess.
Yeah, that's good, mate. Just want to mention, mate, nice touch with the flowers there on the side, and see my flowers at the back.
Well, great minds think alike, Daryl.
Well, I was getting some great tips from people about Zoom, and there's some Hamish McDonald from ABC had some tips about how to do a Zoom meeting. So that's my contribution there. So have a great day, everyone. This is Good Morning Toowoomba, Friday the 17th of April. Have a fantastic day.
Yeah. Have a good day, Toowoomba. Good morning. And I'm Ben Apsey.